Our country was built on tea parties and violent uprising and tarring and feathering tax collectors. Can you imagine the brutality of pouring boiling tar onto a living human being and then covering them in feathers to further humiliate them? And these extreme measures were justified because they said our voices weren't being heard. And that's why we found it so important to enshrine in this Constitution the right to free speech and the right to assembly, essentially the right to protest and have our voices heard. So when thousands upon thousands of children showed up to the Tennessee State House last week in protest and insisted that their voices be heard, insisted they felt like no one was listening, it was the very essence of the American political system. Yet the elected officials who stood with them are now being expelled from their roles in the Tennessee House, from their elected positions. And this shouldn't be a partisan issue, because if it was thousands and thousands of kids showing up to protest abortion, and they were being led by Republicans rather than Democrats, it wouldn't be any more okay for them to be expelled from their elected positions. And what scares me is that we're getting to the point where we are no longer listening to each other. We are surrounding ourselves with people that look like us and sound like us and believe like us, and forgetting that people who believe differently at their core have the same values and hopes and dreams and fears that we do, and they may go about it in a radically different way. But if we cannot find common ground, if we cannot find common values, we are going to get back to the dynamic that allowed people to justify pouring boiling tar onto another human being because of the role they played.